Dungeons play a very vital part in Hypixel SkyBlock because they are one of the best ways to not only make money but to obtain insane gear, and they are also the requirements for many popular gear options. But if not done and understood correctly, you will be just wasting your time. So this video is very important. I'm gonna go over some crucial info like the gear you need and the basics of floor clearing, which will help you master dungeons very fast. And I'm also gonna give a secret mod that is fully legal and insanely helpful for dungeons at the end. So now, let's begin. Before we go further, I just wanna go over the video structure very fast, so you know what you have to watch. First, I'll go through what are dungeons and some basic requirements for it. Then the recommended gear you should have according to your class. And then we'll go through floor clearing, which is the main part of this video. And finally the secret mod. So let's briefly go over the first section. What are dungeons? Dungeons are raid activities in which a team of 1 to 5 players work together to defeat mobs within a generated series of rooms, ending in a boss fight. Players are rewarded based on their performance within the dungeon with dungeoneering XP and items within chests. The rewards scale up with the difficulty of the dungeon. The more difficult missions can drop some of the strongest items in the game. Normally, you must have a party of at least 2 players to start a dungeon run. However, if you have completed floor 3 and defeated the professor, you may claim Saul's recommendation and give it to Mort, who will then let you run dungeons alone. Now let's move on to the gear recommendation and classes. Currently there are 5 playable classes within dungeons: Healer, Berserk, Mage, Archer and Tank. Each class gains class specific buffs and abilities within dungeons. The power of those buffs and abilities are increased by leveling up those classes. If within a dungeon run there is only one instance of a class, the class buffs are increased by 100% of their base stats. You should also refer to the SkyBlock wiki, where you can get an idea about each class and choose your favorite one. And as for the gear, I recommend watching this video after you watch this one made by Modern Soldier, which goes through in detail about every gear for every class in progression. Now that you have a basic idea of what dungeons are and what are classes, let's start with the most important concept of this video, floor clearing. Let's start with the basics. Dungeons consists of a series of connected rooms. The main goal of each dungeon run is to unlock each door, beat the watcher guarding the way to the boss room, then defeat the boss. This whole process is called floor clearing. Along the way, special dungeon mobs will spawn and attack the player. Certain dungeon rooms will also contain special items and buffs to help players accomplish their goal. At the end of the dungeon, a score is assigned to the run depending on how much of the dungeon has been explored, the number of secrets found, the number of times the players died, the number of puzzles failed, and the time taken to clear the dungeon. If the dungeon boss is completed, the player is offered up to 6 dungeon reward chests, which contain rewards of loot and essence and can be opened for a cost. We wanna aim to get as much score possible to get good loot, but if you are just looking for a completion, then any score works. There are a lot of different types of rooms in dungeons, specified by the color. I'll go through clearing each one of these, but before that, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it'll be an inspiration for a small creator like me. First room is the purple room, which consists of a puzzle you have to solve. With the mod I'm gonna give at the end will work. Next is the yellow room, which consists of a mini boss. Then the red room or the blood room. This consists of the portal that will take you to the final boss room. But for that, you would have to clear some mobs spawned. It requires a blood key to open that will be dropped by one of the mobs killed in the adjacent rooms. Next, the trap that only comes after floor 3. Rest of the rooms are brown, which are simple rooms with mobs you have to clear. Each brown room except for the first one requires a wither key to be opened, which is also dropped by one of the mobs in the earlier brown room. You only wanna kill the mobs with the star on it, as they are the only that count for score. The mod that I'm gonna give at the end will also highlight these mobs for you. Each room also has a number of dungeon secrets, which appear in fixed locations. Each secret when found awards the player with loot or a team-wide buff called Blessing, and adds to the score for that run. They are basically chests or items hidden in a map at fixed locations. But if you wanna avoid the harassment, again the mod will help you, so stick till the end. Now that you know everything about floor clearing, it's the perfect time to discuss the blood strategy. It's not much complicated, but in this, instead of clearing all the rooms first and then opening the blood door, you rush through the brown rooms until you reach the blood gate and open it first, rather than clearing all the rooms. This is beneficial in two ways. First, because when you open the door, a guy named Watcher has a very long dialogue, and also it spawns mobs very slowly, wasting your time. But by this strategy, you open the gate and just leave to clear the rooms, so you don't waste time listening the dialogue and then come back and clear all the mobs together. This makes the run very fast. And yeah, that's flow clearing. For the mod I promised, I will leave it in the description. So this was all for today's video. I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video. Until then, bye bye.